Hey guys, today I'm doing another devlog for version 0.3 of what is still called The Island. I think I need a new name for that, but, well, for the game, but I'll come up with that in the future. I'm not feeling super name creative right now. But yes, this is 0.3, the version I am calling the Destruction Update, because aside from a bunch of technical stuff, I've pretty much just added destruction things and fleshed out some of the core features so that I can move on to 0.4, which I'll explain at the end of the video, which is going to be quite an important update. So yes, what have I changed? I've changed a few boring-ish technical things, like collision detection. So if I go into developer mode, I can demonstrate this quite well. So if I put that block down, now when I walk in, it collides at the right kind of distance. It should have been doing that before, and it always baffled me because it was a proper box collision, not a point collision. So I was wondering, because it used to collide right at the kind of the point of the middle of the head. And I was like, why is it doing that? And it turns out, because the way I do collision detection is I don't check all of these objects because that would lag the system to hell. What I was doing is I was just checking the one grid, because this is a grid-based system. I was checking the one grid square where I was going to be, basically, and seeing if I was going to collide with that. But there was a validation error with that, really, so it wouldn't check enough. And it means it wouldn't pick up a collision until I was already kind of in the square. But now I'm just checking basically more squares. I'm pretty much just checking 9 because, well, checking all of the ones in the direction I'm moving. So like this one, well, yeah, basically just 9 squares instead of 1. Which is the minimum you really need to do easily for this. So yeah, that's what else the thing I've done. There's also collisions with these kind of physics objects, these crates now, which is good because like when I pull this past this, it'll like knock onto the side there. Yeah, so those actually collide, so they don't clip through things anymore. I've also added a system with the grapple. Well, I'm working on the system with the grapple rope. Basically, oh, now it's a proper rope instead of a line. But basically, I also drew the line, the rope. By the way, that was why it looks crap. The artist didn't do that. Ruth Akira didn't. Yeah. Anyway, but now when I walk around a wall, the rope kind of starts to loop around, and it actually gets caught on it. It's still super early and super glitchy, so I'm not actually adding that as a feature, but it's something I'm working on, which I thought I'd throw in. You can see the rope keeps doubling up and tons of crap happens, but yeah, it actually does sort of somewhat work, but it doesn't uncoil properly either. But yeah, that's basically the boring stuff. Yeah, okay, I'm in normal mode. But yeah, what else have I added? Well, I've added a bunch of weapons. I've added flamethrowers, molotovs, landmines, rocket launchers, and I think that's, yeah, those are the weapons, which we'll see later. Landmines are pretty cool. I don't think I actually have them in here, because I forgot to load one in, but basically you put it down, they walk on it, and it explodes. It's not very impressive right now, so it doesn't really matter. And there's also a proper ammo system. You'll notice before, I had infinite ammo, and this number here. Oh, and I also apologize if there's a slightly low frame rate. I'm having to record with OBS in window capture mode because it doesn't recognize this as a game yet, so it might be a little low, just the recording, not the game. Anyway, but yes, this number used to mean the amount of money, the amount of ammo in your magazine, and this number used to mean the amount of ammo that your magazine could hold, but now it's like a normal game, so when I fire around, reload, this goes down. This is my total ammo count, well, my ammo count, and this is my magazine count. So yeah, that's like a small thing. The other small technical thing is when you throw a grenade, it's removed from your inventory now, because it used to stay in your inventory until it exploded, which is kind of fine for grenades, usually, except for some edge cases. But you do get the problem when you put down a landmine and it doesn't explode, and then you walk somewhere else and click, it puts it somewhere new. So that was kind of ridiculous. So I've changed that. And we have had a few new sprites, not a ton. Most of the floor you see here in the brown wall, that's all me. That's why that looks like hell. But on the floor you can see that the weapons put down actually look like weapons now. They are a little small, so we're going to need to upscale them a bit, but they do look like proper weapons now. And enemies have had some cool new things. You can see we've got a patrolling enemy right here. We also have stationed enemies, which basically means they just stay at their station until you have some kind of stimulus, and then they'll walk to where they need to go. And then if they don't find anything, they'll just go back to their station, unlike all normal enemies, which just kind of stay where they go. And also the patrols work similarly, just with patrolling. And you'll notice it is flickering a bit. It's because it's not working out angles properly. Well, it is, but it's just occasionally it thinks that it should be looking that way, so I'll have to solve that. The other thing for enemies, which if I can get it to work... Oh, okay. I thought I was in developer mode, so I could put down a wall. The other thing I've added for enemies, as I said, is they wander at the end of paths. So if I found my gun, and if he hears it, yeah, he comes out, and he wanders a bit and looks around. I really like that feature. I've been meaning to do that for a while, because I think it just makes it look more like a, you know, enemy. And I've also added the functionality for when you shoot an enemy, they'll realize that they've been shot and they'll turn around, but I don't think it's actually working right now because I keep changing the enemy AI state machine, so sometimes it doesn't know. So I reckon now if I shoot him... Oh! He just saw me, somehow. But yeah, so I think that's most of the things. Other than tiles, I've added a basic tile system, and all of these tiles were drawn by me, that's why they look like crap. But yeah, let's just take a look at this level, because I think that is everything. Yeah, so in here we have a bunch of cool weapons. They don't have full images yet, so there's a pistol on the floor, but that's actually a flamethrower, because I haven't, well, Ruthakiri hasn't gotten around to doing all of, well, I just haven't asked him to do them yet. But anyway, so let's shoot this guy. He's nice and dead, and then we'll go and get these weapons, well, after I've shot the patrolling guy, because I don't want him seeing me. And we'll take a look at what they do. Okay, he's gotten back to the end of his path. That's what he does when he gets freaked out. I need to change that, really, so he just keeps patrolling. But yes, so you can see we've got a bunch of weapons on the floor. My pistol's almost out of ammo, so I'm just going to switch it out for, apparently, a grenade. Cool. I thought it was going to be the rifle. I'm having this problem, actually, recently, where it will pick up kind of a random weapon, not the closest one. Yes, there we go. There's our assault rifle. What is this? That's a grenade, yeah. We've got a rocket launcher here that was already in my inventory. Here we have our shotgun, which again, not closest to me, but whatever. And here we have a Molotov, which I replaced my shotgun with, good job. And here we have a flamethrower. Yes, we have some fire-based weaponry. Now, you may have also noticed that these walls are brown. That's because they're wooden walls. I know they don't look like wooden walls, but that's because they're still my art assets. So if I use this flamethrower on them, it doesn't actually have a sprite, so I'm just using the old rifle sprite. Because if you look at my rifle now, it actually looks like a proper rifle. Whereas this was the kind of concept one. So I'm just using this as my kind of standard, you know, grenade launcher and flamethrower just for now. But yes, anyway, these wooden walls can be burnt by a flamethrower, so I fire this. Also, all of the flames, that's my stuff as well. But yes, the fire touches the wall, it sets on fire, and then after a little while it burns out, as you can see, like that. And the interesting thing about the flamethrower is not the art assets, because they look like hell, is it doesn't just like fire out a weird burst of, like, it's actually I've actually modeled fire in a certain way. So when I fire my flamethrower, you can see there's lots of little specks of fire, so that it's not just kind of like a, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it means it's actually throwing fire, not just like a gush of death. And obviously you can kill people with that, so if I go in here, I can just kind of fill this room with fire and then die, but I can still fire my flamethrower when I'm dead. And eventually it builds up and everyone dies. The dead sprite, by the way, still mine. That's why it looks like hell. And we also have a rocket launcher, pretty basic, and by the way, the sound is still the pistol sound. But when I fire this, it explodes the walls, which is nice. I think that's all of the new weapons, other than landmine, which is fairly boring, and I forgot to put it in anyway, so... But yeah, we'll just murder this guy, pick up some weapons, then go and do this mission. What do we have here? Oh, I didn't show you the Molotov cocktail, which is rather interesting. It implements fire in the same way, so if I throw this, it explodes into kind of a random distribution of this fire. Oh, he's heard something. He's freaking out. He's been blown up with a rocket launcher. Yeah. So I'm going to grab... Well, I'll reset and then we'll just kind of do this mission. So yeah, you can see that I've, well, been really working on destruction. This hasn't been a massive update. Next update will be much cooler and bigger in a proper gameplay sense. But yeah, I think that is everything. You got the cool fire. I like how that's implemented, so it's not just like... So it's actually more... It feels more like a fire, and when we have a proper animation for it, it's going to... I reckon it's going to look great. But yeah. Anyway, so... I'm going to break into this house, get into that weapons store. I know I could go that way, but I actually just removed this for some testing. And then I'm going to come here and try and kill all of these guys, because right now I just have a pistol, and I guess I do have a rocket launcher. But I probably couldn't take down all of these guys, because they are armed, actually, with pistols. But again, still haven't changed the sprite, because I'm lazy. So we're going to totally take out this guy. He didn't even notice, because the noticing being shot isn't currently working. And then... Oh god, I'm a terrible shot. Okay, right. Just gonna take out this guy. Take him out. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to pick up some weapons. So we'll take the assault rifle, the flamethrower, obviously. We'll take the shotgun, just generally awesome, useful thing. And we'll take one of these. You'll notice that the grenade and the Molotov look the same on the floor because I haven't had the things updated. So we're taking a grenade. Interesting. Oh, and the other very minor thing is when I do grapple through walls. Oh, okay. Bit of a glitch there. Huge glitch there, actually. That is a persistent thing. It seems to not slow down. But yeah, it breaks 3 walls now instead of one. At some point there'll be a big animation of the wall breaking. It'll look much better. But yeah, also I just randomly kind of added tiles to make buildings and paths look more like buildings and paths. But yeah, I do need to solve that grapple hook glitch. Very glitchy part of the game. So, I have a few options. I can't bust in the back here because of the solid wall, so I'm just going to take this like a normal building. I'm gonna flamethrower this first room, just because fuck all of them. Oh, okay, but they heard the gunshots and they're still coming. But they're gonna die in the fire, so it's fine. Alright, I think that went very well. And then we're gonna shotgun this guy. Okay. And then that guy heard, so I'm going to assault rifle him. Oh god, oh god, oh, it's all gone to hell. But anyway, oh yeah, and if they lose me now, they'll look around a bit, try and find me. Well, pseudo try and find me. And then, if I'm lucky, they'll return to their stations. Yeah, that guy's trapped on a wall, and so's that guy, because there are still some pathfinding issues. So we'll just burn this guy for insolence, for showing off how bad I am at pathfinding. And then burn this guy for doing the same. Awesome, so yeah, that's the mission. Pretty simple right now, but I thought it was a little interesting. Oh, see, the grapple hook works fine that way. I think it's just when it's going this way. I think it might be a negative number thing. Oh, also it's not gliding. Just, the grapple hook is making me look like such a moron. But anyway, yes, that is the update. It's more of a destruction thing. It wasn't massive, but I did want to bring you a video on it. And we've got a nice path now. But yeah, I think I did cover everything. Let's just check. Yeah, proper calculate system for the player, physics object collision, collision object reform, dumb tiles, new weapons, and yeah. Oh, and you can see that when I throw the grenade, it is indeed removed my inventory now, and it explodes. Still looks like hell, and still has no sound. But yeah, and also the Molotov, which will also burn walls, as you can see. I quite like that. I do like how the fire is implemented. But yes! That is 0.3. 0.4 is actually going to be a little more interesting and potentially more interesting for you because this has been focused on destruction and kind of cleaning up a few things I needed to clean up and except the grapple hook and adding a few features I feel needed to be implemented. But 0.4 is going to be about user interaction because currently I'm the only one who can really play this because it doesn't have any instructions. It doesn't have any objectives, it doesn't really have anything to do. But 0.4 is going to be about objectives and instruction. I don't think I'm going to implement like a mini-map, but there will be like pointers to objectives, and there's going to be kind of a lot of that sort of stuff. And the reason I'm doing that so early is, well, partly because it just really does need to be done, and partly because I want to have testers playing this as early as possible. I want to be able to find glitches quickly, because during this update, I've just basically had a list of shit I need to fix. Because I constantly find glitches and don't write them down, and then I find them a month later, I'm like, fuck you, earlier me, fix your shit. But yes, so, basically I am going to need some playtesters at some point. I'm not sure if I'm going to take submissions for that now. Maybe I'll do that when I actually have the update. But yeah, maybe if you... Nah, I don't know how I want to do the submission. Okay, yeah, I'm going to wait for 0.4 to actually ask for playtesters. But basically, yeah, so just kind of get ready. And basically, I'm just going to need like a small group, just like 5 or 10 people. And yeah, you'll just get to play the game early. Right now, it's going to be pretty, boring. Well, no, it's not super boring. It's boring to me because I've played it so much in this super early state. But yeah, and it'll be mostly about finding bugs, and eventually, finding features that you like, and maybe tweaking weapons, and helping me just kind of make it a working, a well-functional, a polished, and just a fun game. And, I mean, if I do decide to, sell it, obviously, if you were a playtester for that amount of help, you would get a free copy of the game. I'm not sure if I am going to charge money for it, but when I do release it, because it's so far down the line, I'm not even thinking about that. But yeah, you would obviously definitely get a free copy of the game. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I think that'll be a really great update. So stay tuned, and if you are interested in that sort of thing, I think drop me an email after I do the next devlog, because then I'm going to be in kind of finding people to do this mode, and you know, they'll just be like the standard, this isn't a game yet, don't be mean about it, and don't like make videos about it, because this is a super just random piece of code, and that sort of stuff, so you want to bear that in mind. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're looking forward to the next one. I hope you are interested in potentially becoming a playtester for Tape Corp. Oh my god, I'm going to create a company one day and call it Tape Corp. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been episode 3 of the Island Devlog. I will see you next time.